Hey everyone, ready for a wild one today? We're going deep on one of those mysteries that just grabs you. Satoshi Nakamoto, the mind that gave us Bitcoin.
And we're hitting this at a time when that question's more loaded than ever, you know? Big things brewing.
Right, HBO's got everyone buzzing with this documentary saying they finally cracked the case, going to reveal Satoshi for real this time.
Thing is, this is bigger than just some whodunit, right? Bitcoin went from 0 to 60, challenging how we even think about money, power. That's a lot riding on one shadowy figure.
It's kind of mind-blowing. One person, or maybe a small group, upend the whole system, then vanish. Like imagine inventing the internet, then never logging on.
That's the hook, though, isn't it? That void, all that mystery, it breeds speculation. Says something about us, you know, how we try to fill in those blanks, build legends around our tech.
So how do we get closer to the truth? Well, we're going straight to the source. Satoshi's own emails, way back from Bitcoin's early days.
Oh, now those are fascinating. No PR spin there, just raw thoughts sent to cryptography's heavy hitters back then, people just grasping what Bitcoin could be.
Okay, so unpack that a bit. We've got emails to folks like Wei Dai, that's a big name in cryptography, even messages on public forums, the crypto mailing list. Who was Satoshi talking to, and what's that tell us?
It's almost like I don't know, like a hidden web, right? Each name a thread. Early days, remember, so this list reads like a who's who of cryptography, early Bitcoin development. It's not just what was said, but to WHM. This network, it's telling.
Dude, this is giving me serious secret society of tech geniuses vibes. Okay, I'm hooked. But let's pivot to this HBO thing. Gotta be honest, we've seen Satoshi revealed before, and nothing. Why is this different?
Healthy skepticism, I like it. But here's the thing. Colin Hoback, the filmmaker, dude doesn't do surface level. Look at his work on QAnon. Digging deep, that's his style.
True, true, and it's HBO, right? Not some random YouTube upload. They've got a rep for serious documentaries, the resources to back it up.
Exactly. And from what we've seen, they went all in, globe-trotting investigation, money electric, they're calling it, promises never before seen stuff. Even if they don't definitively ID Satoshi, it'll be illuminating for sure.
Yeah. All right, so we've got potential leads from Satoshi's emails, a filmmaker known for going down rabbit holes, and a big network behind it all. Okay, I'm intrigued. Not everyone's on board, though, right?
Yeah. You're talking about Politico's take. Yeah, they're definitely pumping the brakes a bit, reminding everyone how many times we've been down this road, dead ends everywhere.
Seems like there's this tension, right? We want to know, put a face to the name, but there's also Satoshi's desire for privacy. Can we ethically disregard that?
It's a tightrope walk, no doubt. Politico brings up a good point. What if revealing Satoshi backfires? Like, imagine if they came forward and said, Bitcoin's gone off course, my vision's twisted. Talk about market chaos, people freaking out, prices tanking.
Whoa, yeah, good point. Not just curiosity. There are real-world stakes here.
Absolutely. And it gets deeper. Politico even mentioned legal stuff. Could Satoshi be liable for crimes linked to Bitcoin? Governments coming in, trying to exert control. This isn't just a name, it's a can of worms.
Man, reminds me of that whole Peter McCormack situation, Bitcoin podcaster, sued by Craig Wright, the guy who keeps saying H-E-S, Satoshi. Messy.
Exactly. McCormick argues, yeah, the public's curious, but Satoshi's anonymity is paramount, especially given what they gave the world. But then, if there are huge global implications, shouldn't we know? No easy answers.
This has gone way past just some fun mystery, huh? It's about privacy in the digital age, the power of ideas, unintended consequences. Heavy stuff.
You nailed it. But just as we're grappling with all that, there's a new twist, something out of a spy thriller, I kid you not.
Dude, you're killing me. What is it?
Remember those dormant Bitcoin wallets from the early days? Politico mentioned them.
Wait, those are suddenly active? After like a decade of silence?
You got it. Millions potentially linked to Satoshi on the move. Think about it. These wallets, quiet since Bitcoin was practically worthless, now they're waking up, almost like Satoshi's playing poker with the whole world.
Okay, now that's interesting. Why now, though? Is this deliberate, timed for the documentary, or just insane luck?
Even the people who live and breathe Bitcoin are baffled. Some are saying it's got to be Satoshi, others, nah, just coincidence. We'll dig into that, plus the usual suspects in all this, right after this.
Okay, so we've got these slumbering Bitcoin whales making waves all of a sudden. You said even the pros are stumped, huh? What are they saying about these wallets coming back online?
Even Bitcoin Magazine, and those guys are usually all over this kind of stuff, they're being cautiously optimistic, because these wallets, they've been dark since the dawn of Bitcoin practically. So seeing them move now, it's like a signal flare. With blockchain analysis, you can sometimes connect the dots back to those early adopters, maybe even Satoshi themselves.
Hold on, it's like finding a legit treasure map, then realizing the X marks a spot that's suddenly bustling with activity. But if it's IS Satoshi, why now? Of all times. What are the theories floating around?
One theory that's making the rounds is that they're getting ahead of the curve, so to speak, anticipating the HBO documentary, maybe converting some Bitcoin to regular cash or shuffling it around to more secure wallets, the kind that are harder to trace.
A preemptive move to stay hidden? Dude, that's some next-level spycraft stuff.
Yeah. Right. But then there's the less exciting but totally plausible explanation. Maybe ED as just those early adopters, right? They forgot passwords, stumbled on an old hard drive, or finally decided, hey, let's cash in after all these years. It'd be like finding a winning lottery ticket you stashed away and forgot about.
Talk about a nice little surprise, right? But
Yeah.
the timing of it all, it's just too perfect, you know? Almost makes it harder to not connect it to this documentary dropping.
Yeah, the timing is sus, gotta admit. And if we zoom out a bit, look at the bigger picture, it brings up a whole other question. What if this IS Satoshi sending a message, not about WHO they are, but that they're still in the game, a reminder that they're watching, still a force to be reckoned with?
Okay, now that is kind of creepy, not gonna lie. It's like whispering, I'm still here. But enough about the ghost in the machine for now. Let's talk about the people who've been suspected of being Satoshi all along. The usual suspects, right?
Oh yeah, gotta love a good suspect lineup.
Oh.
Well, you've got Hal Finney, sadly no longer with us, passed away back in 2014. Crypto OG, he was.
Yeah.
Received the first ever Bitcoin transaction from Satoshi. Some believe he was Satoshi, others that they were tight collaborators.
And then there's Dorian Nakamoto, who got kind of thrown under the bus by Newsweek back in 2014, even though he denied being Satoshi up and down. Can you imagine?
It just goes to show the risk that comes with even being associated with this mystery is insane. And we can't forget Nick Szabo, the mind behind BitGold, which was like a precursor to Bitcoin conceptually. His work laid a lot of the groundwork.
Oh, yeah, and Adam Back, the Hashcash guy.
Hmm.
That system was crucial for Bitcoin security, so his name's always in the mix. It's like a who's who of cryptography rock stars.
It really is. And yet, still no smoking gun. Which brings up a really interesting question. Does it really matter who Satoshi is at the end of the day?
Whoa, good point. I mean, part of me loves the mystery of it all. But would knowing actually change anything?
It might. I mean, picture this. Satoshi walks out, gives their opinion on Bitcoin today, its future, what it should be. It'd turn the whole crypto world upside down.
It'd be absolute mayhem. Everyone would lose their minds.
For sure. But beyond the initial shock, there's a bigger question. Does Bitcoin even need a leader? Satoshi being gone, it's fueled this idea of a decentralized movement, right? Would their reappearance ruin that, make it Satoshi's coin all over again?
Man, that's such a good point. It's almost like the mystery. It's part of what makes Bitcoin so different, so resistant to one person or group controlling it. But I gotta admit, a tiny part of me still hopes we get a real answer someday. So we've gone from decoding secret emails to tracking digital trails, from shadowy figures to, like, existential questions about Bitcoin in the universe. I gotta say, I feel like we've uncovered more questions than answers.
That's the beauty of it, though, right? The Satoshi Nakamoto thing. It's not a puzzle with a neat solution. It's more like a lens, a way to look at how tech, identity, even the idea of WHO creates something in the digital age. It's all shifting under our feet.
I like a lens. It's not about nailing down one answer, but seeing all the different sides, all the reflections.
Exactly. We talked about the markets going haywire, the legal headaches, even the whole philosophy of leadership versus no leader at all. But at its core, this mystery, it makes us think about something really basic. Can you stay anonymous in a world that's obsessed with knowing everything?
It's like Satoshi threw this world-changing thing out there. Said,
Yeah.
good luck figuring it out, and walked away, which is what we're all doing, right? But I keep circling back to this whole decentralized movement idea.
Oh, for sure. It's wild. Satoshi, person or group, they choose to stay hidden, and bam, they accidentally create the perfect setup for a movement that doesn't need a leader.
Like tossing a pebble in a pond, the ripples just keep going. And now we're all part of it, debating, theorizing, shaping the thing they started.
And that brings us back to that question we posed earlier, the big one. Imagine for a second. You are Satoshi Nakamoto. You've seen it all unfold, Bitcoin's journey, the diehards, the impact it's had. Would you come forward?
Man, knowing me, I'd probably stay hidden. The pressure, the attention, potentially messing up the whole thing. That's a lot. What about you?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Part of you wants the credit, right? To steer the ship. But the other part, there's freedom in the shadows, watching your creation take on a life of its own. No right answer, is there?
And maybe that's the whole point. Maybe Satoshi's legacy isn't a name or a face, but the questions they left behind, the conversation still going, the reminder that some things are better left unknown.
Well said. Because at the end of the day, this whole search for Satoshi, it's a journey we're all on,
Yeah.
a deep dive into the heart of the digital age. And whether or not we ever really solve it, the searching, the wondering, that's what matters.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
So, to everyone listening, keep those brains buzzing, keep digging for answers, and we'll be back next time with another deep dive into, well, who knows what mysteries await.